Don in London, hello, and it's 22nd of April 2009. My video is all about recovery, and that's recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My substance, alcohol, my behaviour, outlandish really, trying to be perfect to everybody, do everything that everybody liked, and so I would hope they would like me. I think it's called people pleasing, and who doesn't do it to a large extent? Well, maybe only people who are very, 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 very selfish and don't have any idea of their impact on others. And what I've learned over the last few years, that sobriety is the foundation of living for me, and sobriety helps me find an open, honest approach to living, to find the truth of now. And the fellowship of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, has been absolutely integral to my continued sobriety. So I share here about how AA impacts on my life. I don't speak for AA, never can, never will, and it's not about making money either. It's just about sharing my message of how life is going, and the fact that I'm still here, still alive, and the reason why is because of fellowship, as well as family, community, society, medical professionals. You know, when we get into addiction, it's the very devil, because we just don't get out of it on our own, or if we do get out of it on our own, we are running on iron will, and often trying to control everything, so we remain prisoners of our own making. So what does fellowship do for me? Well, it frees me to make choices and to be a part of, to be included in society and family and community and a fellowship, so that I can understand how to relate to other people in my life and do something useful, that is, be a part of and be understanding and considerate. So fellowship, what does it mean? And there are 600 or 700 meetings here in London every week, and as somebody said in a meeting last night, you know, we are very lucky in London to have so many meetings, and really the only reason is that there's a high concentration of recovering alcoholics on a daily basis in the London area, and we get many visitors from abroad and from different parts of the country. So when we go to a meeting, this preamble is shared, and it probably was heard for the first time by one or two people in the meeting last night, because they were absolutely brand new and very confused, or maybe just a few days in. So the preamble goes like this for every meeting, and that's why I do it on these videos. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And some of the things I've been saying this week, or in the last few days, are connected with the fact that the fellowship is only there to keep us sober. It cannot solve our material, financial, emotional woes beyond allowing us to be sober. So we can have maybe false dawns and false hopes sometimes that AA will solve everything. It only solves one thing: how to be sober, how to be open and honest to what is going on in our lives. And then we still have to do everything that everybody else does, that is to make sense of what we can do and what we can't do, and how to be included. And all these ways of looking at the world are quite different to when we're stuck in the malady of drink, where we are excluding, isolating, and on a downward spiral which we can't get out of, not satisfactorily on our own. And you know, living on self-will, it does run riot, and that's what happened to me in addiction. It's not only self-will run riot, there is no will, and we are powerless over the malady of addiction. And it's so it makes us fear everything, mostly ourselves and our inability to cope. And you know, the ability to cope was said to be the spiritual connection by an archbishop. So when he was asked, you know, what is spiritual, he just simply said it's the ability to cope with now, to see reality, and in reality and nature and providence and all those things we get a better understanding of how we can make use of one day, this one. So whoever got to the point where they said that AA was just for one day, and the person sharing last night was very emphatic. We put together one day sobers and make longer term sobriety happen. but we're all in the same place when we wake up in the morning. We still have to ask ourselves, how are we feeling, why, and what can we do? And if we're feeling okay, make the best of, and if we're not okay, acknowledge it and see what we can do to improve it. And the best way to improve it often is to be in the company of others, not just fellowship, but family and community and work. And you know what, a lot of people around here have been credit crunched as well, so they've lost everything. So life is very difficult at the moment, and it's budget day in the UK. We'll see what happens next. Daily readings from the fellowship. This book, Daily Reflections, gives us a daily page, and April is all about the fourth step. That's the fearless moral inventory, to see how we're doing, where things were good and where things were bad, our assets and liabilities. And it goes on to step 5 next month in May, which is about sharing it with another human being and a power greater than ourselves. But for step 4, April 22nd, it says, new soil, new roots. Moments of perception can build into a lifetime of spiritual serenity, as I have excellent reason to know. Roots of reality, supplanting the neurotic underbrush, will hold fast despite the high winds of forces which would destroy us, or which we would use to destroy ourselves. That comes from As Bill Sees It, page 173. We'll get to that one later in the As Bill Sees It book. I came to the AA program green, a seedling quivering with exposed taproots. It was for survival, but it was also the beginning. I stretched, developed, twisted, but with the help of others, my spirit eventually burst up from the roots. I was free. I acted, withered, went inside, prayed, acted again, understood anew. As one moment of perception struck, upon my roots, spirit arms lengthened into strong green shoots, high springing servants stepping skyward. Here on earth, God unconditionally continues the legacy of higher love. My AA life put me on a different footing. My roots grasped a new soil. And that also comes from AA's Big Book, page 12. And you know, it can sound a bit flowery and not in touch with reality. But the whole program is really about getting in touch with reality. And you know, the economists have been talking about the green shoots of recovery. Well, I'm maybe a bit enthusiastic, and the same applies to people in sobriety. We sometimes think we've got the green roots of spiritual, but in fact it can be a false dawn, because we go 2 steps backward when we get a bit of a setback. And you know, the gift of getting setbacks in the day is they're no bigger than the day. So if we let go our history and start living in the moment, you know, don't lose the wisdom of the years, but actually understand that wisdom can be improved by how we react and respond to what is going on around us today. And as Bill sees it, this book, you can read as many pages a day as helps you get to where you need to get to. And you know, serenity is not just about being joyful, happy and free. It's actually accepting the crap as well. Not flowery language, but there you go. But page 83, we cannot live alone. All of AA's 12 steps ask us to go contrary to our natural desires. They deflate our egos. When it comes to ego deflation, few steps are harder to take than the 5th. Scarcely any step is more necessary to long-time sobriety and peace of mind. AA experience has taught us we cannot live alone with our pressing problems and the character defects which cause or aggravate them. And that's fear, brave facing and ego for me. If step 4 has revealed, this is the fearless moral inventory, in stark relief those experiences we'd rather not remember, and then the need to quit living by ourselves with those tormenting ghosts of yesterday gets more urgent than ever. We have to talk to somebody about them, and the essence of step 5 is sharing it with another human being. We cannot wholly rely on friends to solve all our difficulties. A good advisor will never do all our thinking for us. He knows that each final choice must be ours. He will therefore help to eliminate fear, expediency and self-deception, so enabling us to make choices which are loving, wise and honest. And you know, God works through people, so I understand. And you know, for me, as Gandhi said, God is truth, God is love. But it's your understanding of God which always counts. And sometimes I'm an atheist, sometimes an agnostic, and sometimes a true believer. Sometimes we just live with what we understand just now. So when I say the serenity prayer, it's to the good and bad of life as it is. It goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, simply and honestly and openly, in this one day we have before us.